Imagine the ocean swallowing you whole, the cold shock gripping your lungs, the salt burning your throat, and the thought that somewhere beneath, something alive is circling. That's where her story begins, one moment of cruelty, one act meant to destroy her. But what happened next would turn a victim into a storm. This is the story of Maya, and what she did after they threw her to the sharks would leave everyone speechless. The sun burned high over the Pacific, turning the water into sheets of blue glass. The yacht's seafoam serenade sliced through the swells like it owned the ocean. Music thundered from polished speakers, champagne glasses clinked, and laughter floated above the waves. For the rich and the reckless, it was just another perfect afternoon. For Maya, it was humiliation wrapped in sunlight. She was there because she had to be, not because she was invited. A scholarship student, top of her class in marine biology, she'd been chosen to manage the research equipment on board. Chad Wellington's father had generously donated his yacht for the university's fieldwork, but everyone knew the truth. Maya wasn't a guest. She was there to work, to be tolerated, to be mocked. Chad was the ringleader, his smile a weapon, his money a shield. Brad, the muscle, Jason, the follower. Together, they moved through life like they owned it, their arrogance as natural as breathing. And Maya was an easy target. She tried to keep her head down, focusing on her readings, salinity, temperature, pH levels, pretending not to hear their taunts. "Forgot your lab coat, genius?" Brad jeered. "Don't spill your math on the deck," Jason laughed. Chad said little, but his silence was worse. It was the silence of control, the quiet cruelty of someone who enjoys watching others squirm. When Maya accidentally knocked over a fishing rod, an expensive one gleaming under the sun, it was all the excuse Chad needed. "Watch it," he snapped, his mask slipping. "That's a $2,000 rod. You break it, you can spend the next 4 years paying for it." Maya stammered an apology, eyes down. But Chad stepped closer, his words dripping with venom. "You think you're better than us, don't you? Just a charity case who doesn't know her place." Brad and Jason flanked her like wolves, pushing her toward the edge, the open water glinting below. "I think our little scientist needs a field trip," Chad said with a smirk. The laughter that followed was cruel, hollow. Maya froze. They wouldn't actually... But then she saw it. A fin slicing the surface. A great white, maybe 12 feet long. Her scientific mind knew the odds of attack were low. Her human mind screamed anyway. "Don't," she whispered, "please." Her voice only fueled them. Brad shoved her, hard. The world tilted, the blinding sun, their laughing faces, the roar of the yacht, and then the ocean hit her like ice and glass. The sound vanished, the light fractured, and Maya sank. When she broke the surface, gasping for air, the yacht was already pulling away. She screamed, but the wind and the waves devoured her voice. They were laughing, pointing, and then they were gone. She was alone. The ocean was endless. Her heart hammered in her chest as she turned and saw the fin again, cutting the water toward her. Every instinct begged her to thrash, to flee. But the scientist in her knew what that meant. Splashing was prey behavior. Panic was death. So she forced herself still. Controlled, measured. The shark circled closer. 10 yards 5. Its shadow passed beneath her. Ancient, perfect, terrifying. It nudged her leg, a test. Its skin scraped her calf, drawing tiny beads of blood. She knew what that meant. One drop could summon more. Her pulse raced, but her mind, sharp, furious, took over. If this is how I die, she thought, I'll die fighting. When the shark turned to strike, Maya did the impossible. She lunged first. Her fist drove into its eye, a weak hit in water, but enough. Startled, the predator recoiled, whipping away into the deep. Silence. For long, terrible seconds, she floated there, waiting. But it didn't return. The sea calmed, but her heartbeat didn't. She had survived the unthinkable. Yet the danger wasn't over. Hours passed. The sun sank. The cold crept in, her arms ached. Hypothermia whispered in her bones. Still, she refused to let go. She thought of her mother, working double shifts so her daughter could study. She thought of her dreams, research, discovery, a life built by grit. She would not let them steal that from her. Then, in the fading light, she saw it, a shadow on the horizon. A boat. She raised her arm, weak, trembling. Nothing. The vessel kept moving. She tried to scream, but only a hoarse sound came out. The last of her strength slipped away. Then, a horn. The ship turned. Moments later, rough hands hauled her aboard. Warm blankets, coffee. Diesel smoke. The men stared in disbelief as she told them her story. Their captain, a weathered man named Hank, clenched his jaw. Wellington's yacht, he muttered. We saw her earlier, speeding back like hell was on her heels. He radioed the Coast Guard. By nightfall, Maya was in a hospital bed. The official report called it an accident. Fell overboard. No witnesses. No evidence. The Wellington family's influence smoothed everything over. The boys expressed their relief that she was alive. They walked free. But something in Maya had changed. The ocean hadn't claimed her, but it had remade her. The quiet girl who avoided confrontation was gone. In her place stood something else, sharper, colder, unstoppable. She returned to campus in silence. No accusations, no police reports, just watchful eyes and quiet resolve. She studied harder than ever, spending nights in the marine lab. But this time, her research wasn't just about ocean life. It was about predators. She began digging into the Wellington Empire, into the green companies Chad's father owned. On the surface, they preached sustainability. Beneath it, corruption, fraud, toxic dumping. Maya pieced it together line by line, document by document. And then she remembered something Chad had bragged about, his father's private server. Using her tech skills and nerves of steel, Maya built a plan. She posed as an IT specialist, sent a phishing email disguised as a university update, and slipped inside the system. What she found was worse than she could have imagined. Evidence of insider trading, environmental crimes, even a covered-up industrial accident that poisoned a local waterway. It was all there, every secret, every sin. She didn't send it to the police. Not yet. Justice wasn't enough. She wanted exposure. The perfect moment came weeks later. The Wellington Foundation Gala. Cameras. Journalists, a live broadcast. The family basked under chandeliers, smiling for the crowd. Chad's father stood at the podium, ready to accept an award for environmental stewardship. Then the screens behind him flickered. The speech cut off. Silence fell, and suddenly a video began to play. Grainy footage from the yacht. Maya's terrified face. Chad's voice sneering, "You think you're better than us?" The shove, the splash. Their laughter. The audience gasped. But the video didn't end there. Page after page of documents flashed across the screens. Emails, bank records, falsified reports, each one naming the Wellington Corporation. The final frame read, "This is what stewardship looks like." Panic erupted. Cameras flashed. Reporters screamed questions. Within hours, the video hit every major network. By morning, the Wellington Empire was collapsing. Stock prices crashed. Federal agents raided offices. Arrests followed. Chad's father charged. Brad and Jason expelled Chad, facing trial for attempted manslaughter. The sharks had turned on themselves. Maya never spoke publicly, never claimed credit. She watched the downfall unfold quietly, the glow of the TV reflected in her sea-green eyes. She didn't smile. She didn't need to. Then one day, a plain manila envelope arrived at her door. No return address, inside a single note, typed neatly on ivory paper. "We have been watching. Your intellect, your resolve, and your sense of justice align with our mission. The ocean has many monsters. Some have fins, others wear suits. We hunt them all." Below it, an embossed trident wrapped in kelp. No name. No signature, just an invitation. That night, Maya packed a small bag and vanished. Some say she joined a secret marine conservation group operating in the deep Pacific. Others whisper she's seen patrolling international waters, targeting illegal fishing fleets. But no one truly knows. The girl who was thrown to the sharks didn't die. She evolved. And somewhere out there, beneath the same endless blue, a whisper travels across the waves of a woman forged by the sea, hunting the predators who once ruled her world. Because in the end, the most dangerous creature in the ocean isn't the one with teeth. It's the one who survived them. If you felt her story move something inside you, share it. Because sometimes the quiet ones who rise from the depths are the ones who change the tides forever.